Hello everyone and welcome to my presentation. So this presentation is about my devCodeCamp Capstone project. So our devCodeCamp Capstone project acts as sort of our magnum opus from our time at devCodeCamp. We are meant to create an application that solves a real world problem within a 10-day code sprint. And it was really challenging for me. I'm really proud with it's hard to call my final product because I'm going to work on it more, but I'm really proud with what came out of it. So, what are we going to talk about today? First, who am I? Secondly, what brought me to devCodeCamp? What brought me to want to code in general? Three, the Kustom Keeb Shop. What is it? That is my devCodeCamp application, and we'll get more into that later. Four, what technologies used within that application? What did I actually end up using? And then we'll start going over the app functionality and the navigation, actually looking at the application. And then lastly, I'll talk about future improvements. So first of all, about me. My name is Jordan Edwards. I spent most of my early career within the Mississippi National Guard. Now for 6 years within the Guard, I was a air defense battle management system operator, which is a long fancy term for blowing stuff out of the sky that doesn't need to be there with computer systems. I spent my last year within Washington, D.C. on a deployment working alongside government officials there. And after my military service was up, I began pursuing my childhood dream of becoming a programmer. It was always my intention to go into the military and use that advantage to help me become a programmer, and this is just that plan finally coming to fruition. So, what brought me to devCodeCamp? Of course, I had a lifelong interest within development and programming and just creating these things out of nothing, out of code. devCodeCamp in particular had unlimited resources, whether that was a teacher that was in Slack that could constantly push me towards what I needed to be learning or hint towards an answer that could help me get further along, or whether that is one of the hundreds of technologies they showed us that just help improve our workflow, help improve our learning. I also, when looking for a coding bootcamp, was looking for something that was really team based because I knew to work in the development, to work within the development community without working on a team was going to be a very rare occurrence. So I needed to go ahead and get the idea of working with a team while using version control, working with a team while using design structures. I needed to get that down. I did not want to learn those nuances when I got to the job. I wanted to already be proficient in them before getting there. Another really important thing with the devCodeCamp is it taught me how to learn. The teachers within devCodeCamp taught me within to learn, and I stress how important it is that when I say they taught me to learn, I feel confident that I could pick up a new language and make a few projects on it and be proficient enough to implement that within a very short time span. And I think that is because of how they taught me to learn. And I appreciated it. They really delivered. So, what is the Kustom Keeb Shop? So, the Kustom Keeb Shop is my answer to a problem that I saw. The problem being that there's this niche hobby of keyboard building that I got into months ago. And within this niche hobby, you're going to a million different websites, to a million different vendors just to make one keyboard because they all sell the different parts you need to build. And also, they act within group buys, which, as far as modern day e-commerce, isn't normal. It's not like Amazon, it's not like eBay. It is something that's going to take you a year maybe to get your item because it's a group buy with only a certain number getting them. And I felt the need for an all-in-one website where you could take those group buys, those in-stock keyboards, those parts, those vendors, and lay them all out. Put them in one place. Put them in one place for all the enthusiasts to see so they don't have to go to all these different websites just to build a keyboard. So the technologies used were ASP.NET Core, React.js Framework, Axios, Toastify, and Stripe Payment API. This is a quote that I kept with me through my time at devCodeCamp. You can take the time to read it if you want. Don't feel offended if you don't. It's just a quote that I like. So now let's move on to looking at the app functionality, the actual app, and the navigation within it. So here we are at the Kustom Keeb Shop. So I started us on the sign up page because I wanted to show the functionality of it. I have this all pre-filled out for time's sake, and we're just going to hit sign up. We're going to prove that Tom 11 can log in here after signing up. And Tom 11's logged in. So let's go ahead and log him out to display logout functionality. And then I'm going to go to my Roxas profile, which is a profile I made for this tech demo. All right, as you can see and as you saw earlier, you're going to land on this new to the custom keyboard hobby page. I felt the need for this landing page to be an explanation towards the hobby, because for someone who wouldn't know what custom keyboard building is, or a new person to the hobby that's just trying to figure out how to build a keyboard and is running around the website trying to figure everything out, this fixes a lot of those problems. Personally, being within the hobby and trying to learn this, there wasn't a lot of information for me to figure out the verbiage, or for me to figure out what I needed to build a keyboard, and it took a lot of scrambling around the online to find all that information. So I just added this. So now we can move over to the view products page. These are going to be all your products. Of course, you can add more. So within the search bar, we're going to type tofu, and we'll see that the tofu boards have popped up. Under the search bar, we have a filter, so you can filter through just keyboards, just switches, which is a part of a keyboard, or the featured keys within the website. Now if we move back to all and we scroll down, we hit view Keeb, we'll see that we get the name of the keyboard, the price, the category, and the description. From here, we can add it to the cart, and you'll see the little Toastify popped up. So this review comment, these stars, and that star are for future implementation. We'll talk about that as we get later down the website. So you saw that from that screen we added to cart. Also, from this cart we can add to screen, and we will also be notified by Toastify that it's been added to our cart. I prefer this notification system, this pop-up system. It's just way more modern, and then a lot of people won't have time to read their notifications, so I like the ability to hover over it and have it stop, read it, and then make it go away. So let's move to shopping cart. So I have 3 keyboards in here, and we will notice we have 1, 1, and 1 in a quantity. We'll go ahead and subtract, and we'll see that it got rid of that keyboard because there was only 1. Alternatively, if you want to get rid of a keyboard, you can use this red trash icon down here, and it'll go away completely. So we're going to hit pay with card, and we'll be prompted with this box where we can fill out our email, our shipping address, and our billing information. So the add to your collection part within this application acts as a database for your keyboard specific to you. And why this is important is it's a collecting hobby. You can't use keyboards, simultaneously, more than one at a time. It's arguable, but people are going to put their keyboards up, or they're going to put them on display. So to keep you from having to pull them out, to keep track of what you have as you dive into this hobby, I added this. So you can add the name of your keyboard, the description, or the picture. We're going to move over to my Keebs. Now this is going to be your database and your collections of keyboards and parts. You can update them, you can update how much you bought them for, or you could delete them entirely. Now the reason this says post here is future implementation for this website, for this database. I would like to make it a social media function where I can use those review forms and these stars for people to review your database and the keyboards that you built, and to comment and to say whether they like your color or whether they like the parts you used. That's what I'm hoping for the future of this application. So we're going to go ahead and move back to the presentation. And that brings an end to our tech demo. Thank you for listening about my application. If you have any questions, you can email me at jordanedwards441@gmail up on the screen. My LinkedIn is on the screen, as is my phone number. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thanks again for listening.